UPS guy is coming, and be sure to join the Discord down in the description box below. The UPS guy is going over next door to deliver a package, and I kept looking out the window to see if they're coming this way, only because we order so much stuff from Amazon and everything else. And the funny thing is, our eyes make contact, and it was just like, so I looked away really quick and turned the camera on because it was kind of awkward. But anyway, you guys don't care about that. Testing out basically this new intro. I don't know if I like it or not. You know, I used to do intros to videos years ago, and I kind of fell off from that. And I'm not sure if I really and truly like this one or not. It's kind of basic, kind of simple. But I chose the different elements for a reason. One, the skyline of Tacoma. This was from a group called Over Tacoma, and they took the skyline picture of Tacoma, which is sick. It's the very first part that you see, and it literally is showing you everything, right? It shows a little bit of Wright Park, which is the green area that you see in the first part of the picture. It shows you the port, the water a little bit. It shows you the mountain in the back. Sick, sick picture. The dome over there, it shows you all of most of the buildings downtown. It's just a really sick picture. The next one is a collage of all the different photos from the family here. So photos of different times that Noelle and I have been around and about, the kids. I try to pick things that were kind of random as far as the kids go. Our pets, of course, you see Quaddle in there twice. And then Kitty Boy, which is no longer with us. And of course, our other cat, Indy, he's in there. I didn't put the hamsters in there. We have one hamster, but I didn't put that in there, nor the chickens. And then you see, finally, it ends up with Noelle and I at our wedding photo. And of course, there's some other pictures that go along with that that Noella put together a while ago. But I thought that would be kind of a cool intro. I don't know. The music, I kind of like it. It's kind of cool, you know, whatever. But we'll see. I think that I'm going to start putting intros into videos going forward. I'm going to toy around with this one, so I may not like this one, but I'm going to stick with it for a little while. But anyhow, this video, yeah, he left. I didn't get a package. That sucks. Anyhow, this video is going to kind of talk about the idea that if we were to move out of Tacoma, right? And I've said this before. I mean, I think people are a little confused because I said that there's no other place I'd really live other than Tacoma. I mean, there's other places, don't get me wrong, but Tacoma is one of those that is solid for me. And because we have so much embedded here. But it wouldn't be that I would, necessarily move out of the city. If I do, it'd still be very close to Tacoma. It's more or less moving to a different house. This particular house here is cool and all. We got it kind of at the spur of the moment type of thing. Because the story behind our house, and the reason why I'm thinking about moving eventually, is one, it's getting very crowded. Now, I'm not talking Seattle crowded, but it's pretty crowded. If you think about it, Tacoma is about the size of Salt Lake City, Utah. Now, Salt Lake City, Utah is big enough on its own to house its own sports teams. They have 2 professional sports teams. And Tacoma is bigger, but just a little bit bigger than Salt Lake City, Utah. Not only just city population, but also metro region. It's bigger. And every year it gets denser and denser and denser. I've talked about how it used to be streets didn't have a lot of cars parked on them. And literally, as you radiate from downtown out, the amount of vehicles parked on the sides of the roads just increase. Again, it's not like Seattle. You can pick a street in Seattle and it's so narrow, you can't even fit a car down it. Like, it's only, even though it's a two-way street, you're not able to really make it a two-way. And the street I live on is a much bigger, wider road, but there's so many people that park on both sides of the road that it's ridiculous. And the amount of speed that people they haul coming through here. And so it's puzzling. The density issue in Tacoma is only going to increase, especially the way that the city is wanting to upzone things and things like that. And so after a while, it's like, all around me I hear construction. So I hear construction back here. There's neighbors encroaching this way. There's neighbors encroaching this way. It's just we're basically some jam in between the peanut butter and bread, right? And so I don't like that. Now, Noelle is cool with houses being, I wanted a house that was on a corner. And I told her that. I didn't want nobody behind me. I wanted a house on a corner. And she was fixated with this house. And so I'm like, okay, cool. Told the realtor, whatever needs to be done, let's get this house. The girls liked it because it had an upstairs and they wanted to go down the steps. That's the only reason why they liked it. I'm like, all right, whatever. It's close to downtown, so cool. Close enough. Far enough away, but close enough. And so, anyhow, we went on ahead and did it. However, now I was like, yeah, I really don't like it. Because really, for our needs, we need something bigger. We need something bigger, better layout, all of those types of things, right? But I told her, with this current market, it's going to be hard to get something because people sell and then they're stuck. They can't find something. So I said, it's not a problem selling it. We could sell it. It'll go quick. But where are you going to move to? Because everybody and their cousins looking for a house here. So we're going to have to tough it out for a couple of years at least in order to just wait for things, hopefully, to kind of be okay to where we can kind of do that. But if I were to move to a different, and we may not, if I were to move to a different house, it will definitely be within the area. So it wouldn't be way out. It would be pretty close. Now, there's a couple of things that we want. We want more bathrooms, obviously. We want a bigger yard. We want a place where we can actually do a full inside studio. The video that you guys saw, Noelle was pouring molds and stuff like that, which they're actually on the floor over here from that video. But she was pouring molds, doing all that type of stuff. It was great. But I would like to have a kiln, the ability to have a kiln on site. And so that's part of it. What I really would want is some acreage, some land that has a house. 5 acres of land would be cool with me. And no neighbors that are close. That would be ideal. And honestly, if it had a couple of buildings on it, that would be helpful because we do have chickens. If not, I can get out there and throw something up. But that would be the goal. And literally, the house has to be able to have the ability to have a kiln. That's going to be the top thing for us. Why? Because of the simple fact that even though, and I know this is all over the place, it's just a video really talking about the intro, but I kind of went on a tangent talking about the house, but also talking about things that's in my head in terms of where to get another house. The reason why a kiln is so important, even though we have a studio that has a bottom floor that does have space for kilns, is because Freight House Square may not be there forever. And there's a good chance that in the next few years, Freight House Square will get knocked down and turned into some sort of into a transit station. So right there, Sound Transit is looking right in that spot where to put their light rail station, which will connect Tacoma all the way to Seattle. And so right now, we're good. But we had people come through there a couple of years ago handing out flyers and pamphlets from Sound Transit saying that, look, this may be the location that we tear down. Now, there are 3 other locations that they're looking at, but as the city starts to develop and the Dome District develops, a lot of their options are going to be kind of narrowed. And then when you look at Freight House Square, it already has Amtrak Sounder. The Tacoma link is kind of right there. It doesn't make sense to just leave the building and put the station someplace else. Bus hub's right there. I mean, generally it's all kind of in the same areas. There's two locations that I think that they would choose. One would be where the U-Haul building is. If you're familiar with Tacoma and the Dome District, you know what I'm talking about. But there's like a large U-Haul building. They'd probably tear that down and put it there. Or they would take Freight House Square. And as a result, taking Freight House Square, they would end up taking all of it. They would have to gut it all, build their station there, and they claim that they're going to put some shops down below. We don't know if that's going to happen. And we don't know if they're going to keep a lot of the businesses, and we don't know how much it would cost to do that in terms of the rent. We're not really sure. And so that leads a lot of uncertainty. We can always find a retail space, but finding a retail space that's able to handle a kiln and the unique situations with a kiln is kind of challenging, because you have to make sure, A, that the building is capable of handling it, meaning there's no overhead sprinklers, that the building is not made out of just all wood. If it is, there's things you can do to kind of mitigate that. Wooden floor is not a good thing. There's that part of it. But the bigger part is the electrical requirements. Is the building, how good are the wires? You would have to bring an electrician in to put in certain types of plugs and sockets and everything else. So it's a big undertaking. So ideally, it would be great to have a house where I know there's some certainty. I can for sure put kilns there, wire it the way I need to wire it. We're able to fire stuff. Like, I have products now that I can just fire. I have greenware here that's been sitting that I can fire right now and turn it directly into pottery. Now, we've thought about getting a small kiln, a little test kiln that we can get. Back in the day, and I'm talking a year or so ago, they were pretty cheap. Now the price has skyrocketed because there's so many people that are looking for kilns, and this whole supply chain issue has made the price so expensive. But they're the types where you plug into your natural home outlet. You're only able to put a few things in there, but it's enough for us to put a lot of the greenware we have. I have a few things over here that I can stick right in there, like the panda that you guys saw her make, the other stuff. I can put that stuff in there and fire it up. You can stack greenware on top of itself and it's totally fine. But that's stuff that I can fire and get going. But again, it's kind of the situation where, it's a hassle. So here would make sense to actually put the kiln. We thought about it. It just wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. If I had to, I would do that if I had to, but kilns pump out a lot of toxins. So you got to be careful with that. You definitely don't want to be in a room when a kiln is firing. This house is old. A lot of different things that go into mind with that. So it's on the radar, but if I had it my way, I definitely would get a farmhouse and a place where I could definitely have a workshop, and indeed for sure have a place for my kiln and the pottery studio to work. We would obviously have a retail space someplace in Tacoma, obviously, but a lot of the production would be at home. That would be the hope. But anyhow, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Tell me what you think about the intro. I don't know. You may say you hate it, and that's cool. I'm not 100% on it myself. But even if you do hate it, it's going to be a while before I end up thinning it out and changing it and things like that. I really just don't know what to put in it, to be honest with you. But anyhow, tell me what you think. Maybe I'm being too critical. I don't know. Make sure you join the Discord. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to do all those things. And until next time, I will see you. Take care.